tall. Words are blades that never fall. Debate like warriors brave. Every thought we give and save. Through the noise we cut clean. Spirited minds sharp and keen. With a spark that lights the night. Join us in this epic fight. Welcome to the Spartan arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance. In this arena there's no chance to escape the vibrant lore. Dive in deep and search for more. From heartfelt talks to fierce debates, we explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light. In the dark our minds ignite. Welcome to the Spartan arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Will be heard. Will be heard. In the ring we stand tall. Words of blades that never fall. Debate the warriors brave. Every thought we give and save. In the ring we stand tall. Words of blades that never fall. Debate like warriors brave. Every thought we give and save. Through the noise we cut clean. Spirited mind sharp and keen. With a spark that lights the night. Join us in this epic fight. Welcome to the Spartan arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance. In this arena there's no chance to escape the fight by law. Dive in deep and search for more. From heartfelt talks to fierce debates, we explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light. In the dark our minds ignite. Welcome talks to fierce debates, we explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light. In the dark our minds ignite. Welcome to the Spartan arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance. In this arena there's no chance to escape the fight by law. Dive in deep and search for more.
Sorry about that, guys. We're back at another show, another stream. Of course, you know where you're at. You're at Spartan SQ Network. Of course, I'm your host, the Spartan, aka Peter. How is everybody doing tonight? Sorry about the little technical difficulties. Having an issue connecting our new Rumble account. I'm gonna work on that in the background in a minute. But tonight's show, we're talking about looks over personality. That is something that has been a debate for a while. Which one do you prefer? Looks over personality? That is the question of the night. So, the thing we need to talk about. So, I'm going to bring my boy in first. Let's go from there. Let's get this guy in here. Greg, what's going on, my man?
I'm good, brother. How are you doing?
I'm getting a really bad echo from your end.
You're getting it really bad.
Yes, I can
I
hear
don't know
myself.
what the problem is.
Um,
You're hearing
you're not
yourself?
using your headphones, are you?
No. Hold
That's
on.
the problem.
Give me a sec. Carry on talking. I'll just mute up for a minute.
All right. All right. So, I'm still getting an echo. Why am I getting an echo? Oh, I think I know what's
That
going
ain't from my end because I'm muted.
on. All right. Let's try this. All right, that works now. That fixed the problem. So, as I was saying, we're talking about personalities versus looks. So, Greg, what do you think?
Say something.
What's up, man?
That's better.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I was just trying to sort out the audio because you wanted me to wear these. What were you saying? Sorry.
So, personality over looks, which one do you think is more important? And you can't say both.
Personality.
Okay, why is that?
Because looks would just basically show you how evil people can be deep down
Hmm.
later on. Personality can tell you a lot about a person. But later on, if it works out, personality, you can. The looks are just bonus. They're just a bonus.
Hmm.
Personality is where it's all at. Her
Okay.
personality was brilliant. Yeah, I got with her, and I chose that, and I stayed with her. I have been for nearly 14 years now. Yeah.
Okay. So, my thing with personality, with looks, is
Go on.
you could be the most gorgeous woman in the world,
Mm,
but if you can hold a conversation, what's the
yeah.
point? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that is part of my problem.
That's the sorry. Um, that's the biggest problem with nowadays. People only go for looks. They don't go for what's deeper. Yeah, and they wonder why
Mhm.
they wonder why they've got such a shit relationship with someone. Do you know what I mean?
I totally agree with you. So that is one of our major problems.
Yeah. But I've been with some of the horriblest looking women in my life. Yeah,
Hmm.
and they had great personalities.
Yeah. All right. Hang on 1 second. Let's get this guy in here.
Oh, great! Ow! Evil man.
You love hitting yourself, don't you?
Yeah, it's only because you Americans love the pain. Git.
I don't know about that. I thought Britain was the home of boxing, so you guys were the original pugilists.
Nah, I don't like violence. I don't watch sports. But
So,
how
Paul,
you been doing, Paul?
I've been pretty good, pretty good. Just trying to.
How's the family?
family is good. Family's good. Everyone's healthy, and just going into the office tomorrow. I was working remotely for a couple of days, but going back in, so we'll see what happens. Good show Sunday night, though. I was just looking at the numbers and everything. I thought that was a very powerful show last night. I'm sorry, Sunday, Gray Area show on interracial marriage. I thought that was a really good topic. So anyone, if you didn't get a chance to see the show, if you do watch or rewatch the show, make sure you watch it on the Spartan HQ Network, and let us know what you think. We love any comments on that, and certainly post your comments in the chat on the replays, and certainly love to get your feedback.
Definitely. So, Paul, what do you think? Personality over looks. What's your opinion?
They have their advantages, right? I mean, it's like superheroes, right? You have your superpowers, and certainly for some people they're able to make it work. I knew some of the most unattractive guys growing up who could get the hottest girl, and we just never understood why. You thought that the jock football player or the basketball player had the nicest looking girl or whatever, but guys, they just knew how to pull, and they did it mostly on their personality. They were able to, make women laugh, and that's a huge advantage. If you're able to engage a woman, and also the answer to this question is going to be based on what sex you're talking about and probably what age of the person that you're also talking about. So you got to put those variables in there. But certainly for a guy, certainly if you can engage a woman and make her laugh and engage her emotionally, she'll bypass some of that stuff. But for a guy, generally, how she looks is what makes you go over there and talk to her. So if she didn't look good, it's not likely you're going to go over and introduce yourself. So I think that both have their place. But again, depending on the individuals, it's going to be it's going to matter. But I would say this, just in life though, because I was just looking this up. How does being physically attractive help you in life? And just the stats that I'm looking up, just career advantages. There was this study done. Attractive people are 52.4% more likely to hold prestigious positions 15 years into their careers and earn higher salaries, with studies showing even subtle improvement in appearance and grooming leads to higher income. So certainly, the hiring process in itself, it's a subjective process. If I didn't look a certain way, certainly in the interview, I mean, again, we did a Next Gen show on the interview process. And so I talked about dress and dress code and, how you should present yourself when going on interviews. I talked about presentation, your smiling during an interview, a firm handshake, and, just some of the soft skills. But certainly how you look makes a difference. And you want to be, your haircut, whether you're bearded or not. I think these days it doesn't matter as much. Certainly in most industries it doesn't matter as much anymore. But certainly, but you should be well groomed. So you shouldn't be going in there looking like a member of ZZ Top. In most jobs, anyway. So I think looks do have a subjective effect on how you're perceived by the general population, and in areas of business and other, areas of access. So I may lean more on looks to get you into the door, but I think what keeps you there is going to be your personality. And that goes beyond just an instantaneous sort of interaction or just a physical attraction kind of thing. What sustains you over time is your character, your personality, your ability to have a conversation. And like I said, to engage, certainly talking as a guy, to engage with a woman and keep her intellectually and emotionally stimulated, I think certainly goes a long way. But if I come up looking a certain way or whatever, I don't have the right look or something like that, then yeah, I may not get at least the one I want to talk to. So yeah, I think they both kind of work together, but looks certainly have their place, at least in the initial impression of the individual involved.
All right, so I agree and disagree at the same time. Okay, first of all, with a job interview, beards make no difference anymore. I think you know how I feel.
Yeah, I said that, but
Yeah.
but what I said was, even if you go in with a beard, it needs to be well manicured and well groomed.
I've seen people who are ZZ Top beards go at the CEO jobs too. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if they're CEO, I mean, I don't know about the I don't know about the ZZ Top CEO type. Well, but like I said, it depends on the industry. If you're talking about entertainment or something like that, or certain industries, yeah. But I'm coming from an IT business kind of corporate kind of perspective. And again, even I work with Muslims, who are very devout, and they have their beards. But again, it's well kept. It's not going to be presented in any kind of way.
I feel that part of what we're talking about with the field also depends where you live. It has a lot to do with it too, the area. If the area is like most guys have long beards, yeah, that's all you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? So it won't make a difference. So that's why the corporate rules have changed so much about that. But that's not the conversation tonight. So with the conversation, with a woman, looks have something to do with it. But I feel if you be able to have a conversation with her, she can look past the looks at times. I've seen guys who are ugly as fuck score the hottest girl out there.
Sure, I've said that.
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing. I agree 100% what you're saying. But like you're looking like, how?
Yeah,
You're scratching your head.
yeah.
Like it's like, and you ask him like, how? I'm like, you're hot. He's not. He's ugly. And like I feel very comfortable in my sexuality to say, a guy, hey, you put time in the gym, you look good, dude. And like some people don't feel weird about that. I feel comfortable with that. And I think you feel comfortable with yourself too, Paul, with that, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So when you see a guy and like how, and like, and the always answers like he can hold a conversation, he can make me laugh, we can have talents talks, we can argue about things, but agree at the same time. We can agree to disagree, kind of thing. Like, I'm doing something wrong here. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now, having said that, when you talk about getting past certain things, are we still talking about sexual attraction, though? It's one thing, like I said, it's again because you can be that guy who has the charming personality. You can also get friend zoned very quickly. Mm-hmm. So again, there's I think also a lot of it depends on the aim. If you're talking about just networking, if you're talking about business, if you're talking about just certain interactions, yeah. But if you're talking about in the romantic space, I think there has to be some kind of physical attraction. Or put it this way: how would you feel if your wife or the woman that you're serious about said to you, Peter, you're such a great guy. Really personality charming. You do anything for me and all that kind of stuff. But I don't find you physically attractive, but I'm with you because you have all these great, outstanding other qualities, and that's why I'm with you. Mm-hmm. How would you feel about that? Okay, so you can't say it doesn't matter then, because
I never said it doesn't. It does matter, I think.
Right. But I'm just saying. But for the people who are saying, yeah, what's that?
For a woman's side, it could be different. You know what I'm saying? Because I know women who say, "Listen, I don't have to be sexually attracted to a person, but I can be in love with him and still be sexually with him because he has all the right traits." So,
but I'm saying, but could you live with that? Take exactly what you just said. I'm not sexually attracted to him, but I love him and I can have sex with him. But she admits she is not sexually attracted to you. Could you live with that?
No.
Okay. So I'm just saying. So that piece, like I said, especially when you talk about the romantic end, again, what turns a platonic friendship where you're like one of the girlfriends to, no, I have sexual desire for this individual. That, that piece you can't ignore. And even for the guys that we're talking about, again, and I don't know what it was, I think they had another dynamic working for them. And I think that dynamic was a lot of girls were into them. So it almost made them, we talk about this halo effect, right? This idea of how people are viewed. And it's almost like, well, it's like they're saying, well, there's got to be something about this guy. Because why all these girls are attracted to him, or why is every time he's around, he's with another girl? There must be something that he does. Maybe he buys some things. Maybe he treats himself. Maybe he's great in bed. I don't know what it is. But there's also that idea, that curiosity to say, why is it that he's able to pull all these women? And it's almost like that makes you better. It's just like what a married man. And I've shared, I know Mandrella said the same thing. And I think Anton shared the same thing. Our attractiveness went up because we're married. Like, don't change us physically. Just the fact that we have a ring on our finger or people know that we're married, we automatically go up a few percentage points in the eyes of a single female, because the idea is that he is wanted by somebody. Whereas if we were single, we wouldn't, we'd have to just go with, that level. But being married increases our attractiveness. Like, women will, treat us better or approach us or things of that nature because of that.
Oh, that ring on your finger is like a magic power for a woman for some reason.
Yeah. So I'm saying, so there is the idea of, for a lot of people, certainly for women, the idea of being desirable. Someone desires you. And that matters also. So again, it's not always attraction in the sense that, okay, I'm attracted to you, but what does this person have going on? It's a supply and demand issue that makes this person attractive. And if he's able to get these women by his personality or whatever, or how that person makes you feel when you're with them, then it doesn't matter. But again, I've seen like athletes, like bodybuilders, for example, right? I mean, I kind of follow that space, and I'll see a lot of their wives and girlfriends, and they're not like the fitness, like on the other side. They're not necessarily bikini competitors or figure athletes or any of those, with the, sexier bodies or whatever. Some are, but a lot of them, their women are like, man, you got one of the best bodies in the world. Every man would be envious of that kind of body, but the lady that you're with is kind of average. But the reason why they're with them is because they support them 100%, that they're loyal and dedicated, and that they win over by their character. But a lot of these guys will tell you that the worst person to date is a fitness competitor, because you got to be kind of selfish to be in that arena. We're talking about the budget for food, for training, for diet, the supplements that they need to take, and all that kind of stuff. It's a very selfish sport, and so you get two selfish people. Because if she's trying to make her career in the space, and she's doing all these kind of things, also she may not be there for you because she's got her own bag that she's trying to get. Yeah, you guys are in a similar field, and again, some people make it work because they are in a similar space. But some others, they're like, no, I just need someone to support me, cook my meals, and have a good meal at home, and give me support and give me peace when I come home from all the stress and all that, and they get that. But I've seen more than enough guys been around ladies, very handsome guys, and their women maybe not as much, at least to me anyway. But they give them something that a lot of the pretty girls don't. And unfortunately, a lot of times there is that trade-off. They talk about pretty privilege. A lot of the prettier girls, they want to be kind of taken care of and cared for and pampered, but are they really giving you what you need at the end of the day? And also at the end of the day, what will you choose? Would you choose the pretty girl or the one of character, the one that's going to support you and everything. But again, even then, there's a line, right? Because even as a guy, I got to admit, look, I have to be attracted to you in order for me to work. Okay, I'll leave it right there. I won't delve any further into that. But for my body to function, I have to look at you in certain ways, and I can only think in my mind of so many ways to get myself stimulated. But if that stimulation isn't coming from you, then yeah, that may not work for me. So as I said, the dynamic between men and women, men are clearly more visual, and that's going to matter more to men than to women. But women these days, they're also very clear. Also, they want an attractive guy. They want a guy that that they can look at. So I think that it does matter.
I think attraction is what's what I'm looking for. Objective a little bit too, because what's attracted to me is not attracted to you.
Right.
So let's keep that in mind too. And
Right.
what I find very attractive, you might look at me, Paul, and like you say, like if you were ever single, like we might be going out and like we see two beautiful women. Let's turn the clock back. You were,
I got you.
You're
problem.
single and everything. Hope your wife won't kill me for this one, but you were single. We're out, around town. You see two women, and I see her, and me and you have done this. If you remember, the one time we were, where were we going? New York. We took the train.
Yeah, I remember on a train. I'm trying to remember the.
It was by your wife's job. You parked the car. I remember that much. And we were walking. It was Memorial Weekend.
Okay, yeah, we went to New York City. Yeah.
And as we were coming back to your crib, I saw this attractive woman, and I looked over. And I'm like, man, she's kind of cute. You look at me, and go like, yeah, but she's not my
Right.
cup of tea.
Right.
And
Right. I mean, we're absolutely going to differ in terms of
absolutely.
specifically what we're attracted to, but the issue of being the looks relative to us versus personality. Again, the fact that she looked good to you, though, again, as I said earlier, that's what gets you over there.
Mhm.
And if it wasn't, then then it would be no go. I mean, most men have their standards or criteria or whatever. If that same girl, if she was 300 pounds, and she came, and it didn't matter, but she was nice, and I would get she was cute, because I've seen a lot of old boy people that have those round faces, so she's cute. She's got those nice eyes and whatnot, pretty eyes, and all that kind of stuff. And she, she's nice, and she would be good to you.
Oh my God!
But that's not enough, huh?
No. Listen, bro. No offense to big women. Big women need love too. But when she's on top of me, I don't need to get pancake.
Well, no, that's just something you keep out of the repertoire. Then I mean, that's just not a move that you can do there. I mean, like if your woman was like 6'2", would that work for you? She wasn't fat, but she was 6'2".
I dated tall women. It didn't ever bother me.
How tall are we talking about? Taller than you? I'm saying 6'2".
Yeah. Like
6 foot?
Yeah.
Wow. What was that like?
Same as it. Everything works the same, bro. Nothing like you hold hands like normal. You kiss normal. You put your arms around her normal. Everything's normal. It just it's a little taller. That's all the difference.
That's it. That's interesting.
Never bothered me. Never. Yeah. Technically, I'm like the short guy, but technically, I'm like my height was the average back in the day. If you really think about it.
Right.
And I know some women like a taller guy versus a shorter guy, but I always seen past that. If that makes sense. The only thing I could never see past is weight. You know what I'm saying? If she's I'm 195 and she's 450, like I can't see past that, unfortunately.
Right. But if she's like, if she's 6'2", she's 195. That's gonna look pretty good on her. On a tall person, 190 is not fat. I mean, on a woman. So You know,
And I don't like a woman who's scrawny either. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because I don't need to break her during bedtime. You know what I'm saying? I got to go like it is.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, but what about? Let's talk about. 'Cause I think we're pretty consistent on, again, when we talk about relationships or dating or whatever, or sexual attractiveness is something that matters. So the looks are going to come into play in a certainly, again, at least to get the conversation exchange started. And even ongoing, I would think you'd want your woman to look good, consistently for you, like over time, like somebody who doesn't let their appearance go, because we've seen that as well. Low key, the remember that wedding I told you my daughter was in last
Middle
summer?
East, I think you said it were.
Yeah, and so she's already up 50 pounds, man.
Really?
We talk about they say that marriage 20. You have the freshman, you go to college, you get the freshman 15, that 15 pounds you gain when you go to college. But also you got that marital 20, 25. A lot of people, again, you sucked it all in to keep, to grab them. But then once you get them, you kind of let the body go. I saw her not too long ago, and yeah, she put on a few. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, it's she definitely tried to suck it down to get into the wedding dress. But then after that, yeah, you just kind of do your thing. So that
Even when you start a new relationship, you gain a couple pounds easily on that relationship because you're not paying attention as much where you're eating, you're hanging out, you're going out with her, you might going out to Chili's or whatever. You're not on your diet that's on point like before.
Mm.
Like you do gain some weight when you're in a new relationship. That's facts.
Yeah. But I'm
So-
saying when you start settling, you start getting them home cooked meals and things of that nature, or maybe you're not because you're married. You're not going out as much, maybe, and you're just kind of settling in a little more sedentary, and yeah, so the weight can come on. But yeah, I mean that's something that happens as well. But again, still, you want to certainly maintain attractiveness to a person over time. But what is your view on looks in life? So take it out of the romantic of the relationship space. What about life? What about opportunities? What about jobs? What about, and again, every job is, I think if you're kind of a blue collar type of worker, I don't know if your looks matter as much. But I think there's certain careers that they want. They want attractive people, and I remember going a few years ago going for car shopping, and we went into some of the more luxury car dealerships. You talk about Lexus and BMW places, and make no mistake, the receptionists when you go in there, they want attractive people. It's they want attractive receptionists and people when you come in. And like, there's one time I went in and I was like, wow. They say it was cars and sex and cars sells. It's like
it's
like the
funny
car magazine with the nice woman in the front where they make sure that they have some eye candy there for you when you're in the showroom.
When I had my old car, when I first got it, I got a little fender bender. It wasn't nothing crazy. I got cut off, and I tried to prevent that. It was in Jersey, about your area, believe it or not, and it was like cosmetic. So I took it in to get it fixed up, and when I got there, I was getting the estimated so I can send to the insurance. Oh, nice tries. You know how that works.
Mm-hmm.
And when I get there, I was talking to the receptionist. I didn't realize she was the manager at that point. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And as we're talking, I'm like thinking about it. Like, she's kind of cute, actually. Thinking that, like, seeing like, let's go outside and check your car out. Let's get a little, see what we're dealing with. She pops the hood, and I'm like, I'm seeing her stretching out. I'm like, when she didn't look around, I'm like,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Remember seeing it in Transformers? He's like, she opens the hood, and he's like, God damn.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's how my face was. I'm like, holy shit. The only thing that held me back, I didn't realize at first. I looked at her. I was trying to flirt with her a little, like, I went to your cute level went up by 10% now. Cars, and it's like just 10%. She goes, not 20. I'm like, I'm like,
Mhm.
I'll give you 20 then.
Yeah.
And as I'm talking to her and she's taking her hood down, my hood down, I mean, and I realize there's a ring around her finger. I'm like, motherfucker. I'm thinking to myself, I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, next in line. Like, I'm not even like hours late. Even one of the shops I go here. And I was talking to the young lady, and she's very, very outgoing, very pop. She dresses all everybody as sweetie, honey, whatever, right? And I was talking to her. I'm bringing my car into her, blah, blah, just giving her a heads up. Yeah, cool, whatever. She goes, and she was laughing, like, oh, what's so funny? You're like, I had 20 guys before you. They've been open for a few hours at this point. I go,
Mhm.
okay. She goes, you're the only guy who didn't have to try to flirt with me in here. I'm like, yeah, why would I? You're married. I'm like, people don't care about this sometimes. She
Oh no,
goes,
yeah, you got guys. Yeah, you definitely got guys where that's like it's like I said, it's just it goes both ways.
yeah.
Like married men are tend to be more attractive to the opposite sex, and you got for some guys seeing a ring on that finger, it's it's an attractive thing for them as well. In part because I think a lot of those guys think that, well, if I hook up with if you're only looking to hook up, it's not like you're not looking to break up a marriage. You're just looking to hook up. So if you do your thing, go back, she's going to go back to her life, and you're going to go back to yours. So for a lot of those guys, that seems to be the motivation as to why they'll pursue women with the ring on the ring on the finger. But just in general though, like I said, just professionally, I think it helps you. I think that if again, just my subconscious mind, you're going to interview several people for the same position, and they're all qualified skill wise. They have the skill. But nature wise, though, you're going to be attracted to, or you're probably going to hire the one that you feel most attractive. And that's male or female. I just think that's just a normal human thing. And that's why I've always said before that hiring decisions, yeah, merit can matter to a point, but at the end of the day is whether or not that person likes you or not.
Mm.
And that could be based on your looks. It could also be based on your personality. But, certainly for a lot of people, you can't help say that those looks will get you into doors. I know just even going out, this used to be a thing with clubs back, and I don't know if it's still the same case now, but it used to be back in the day with clubs. The attractive people got in. Like the most infamous club that I've ever heard of was Studio 54. This was like a big disco club back in the 70s and the early 80s.
I remember hearing about it.
And yeah, I mean, you had a guy in line, and he would just go through the line and just look at it's like you, not you, not you, you. I mean, it wasn't just. It didn't matter how much money you had, unless you were like an A-list celebrity or something. Because Michael Jackson went there, Paul McCartney, all these famous celebrities used to go to this establishment back in the day, and it didn't. So those guys got in, and it didn't matter what they looked like then. You know what I mean? But if you were just the general public just trying to get in, they were looking for a particular look at a particular crowd, and it didn't matter how good a dancer you were or how much money you were bringing in, unless you were, like I said, a celebrity, politician, someone famous, they would dismiss you.
Same thing with the Viper Room, if you remember.
The what room?
The Viper Room.
The Viper Room.
Yeah, that was Johnny Depp club he owned back in. LA.
Oh, I don't know about it. Tell me about it. I don't know about this one.
Yeah, the Viper Room was like it was live band, but mostly celebrities went into it. You know what I'm saying? There was like somewhere they can go hang out, have a few drinks, and a few other things. Let's call it
Yep.
Aces and A's.
Yep.
But it was like obviously not every single night a celebrity is going to be going in there. So there are other crowds going in there. And they would probably do the same thing. You, not you, you. In. Now the clubs more. When I was in my heavy club days, one thing I did realize is the hot girls got in first. They never stay in line.
Correct.
Like, forget the hot girls. Girls in general go in first. No matter, guys always had to wait in line. Like, and me and my cousin got annoyed one time because we had reservations for a table. He booked a table. He had a bottle service, and he still had to wait in line. And he goes like, "What the fuck is this shit? I actually paid like $500 for this shit, and I'm still waiting in fucking line." He got fucking pissed. I don't blame him for that.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things. Like the rules are rules. Every guy has to stay in line.
Yeah. For sure.
Now, at least up in my area, like most of the bars now, like everybody gets in line, no matter who you are. And like I get a little special treatment because I know the bouncers and the owners and everybody. I'm like, oh, hey guys, and I'm like, okay, he goes, get in. I'm like, like, they'll give me the dirty looks. I'm like, I don't do shit. If you know these guys, then you can have the same treatment.
Right.
And I know the DJ and everything. So, but that's a different conversation, of course. But you're right. It's the great example. I knew a dude, great physique. He put his time in the gym. He had always a good looking woman on his shoulder. I'll give him that. And he always had cash. I mean, like he never had issues buying a house. Never had issue buying a car, motorcycle, you name it. He always he likes something. Goes, boom. And like when you hear this, he always had it in his pocket.
Right.
Even to this day.
Well, hang on to that. That's a question that I'm gonna ask you a little bit later on. I'm gonna ask you that. But Craig, I think you had a comment. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, I was going to reply to what you were saying about the fact of only letting the pretty ones in. Have you guys ever seen Kevin and Perry Go Large, the movie?
No.
No.
Kevin and Perry Go Large.
Like Kevin and Perry Go Large.
Okay.
There's a part in there where they're DJs. They're literally Kevin and Perry. Kevin's a bloke. Kevin's basically really a woman, but dressed up as a bloke, right? And they're basically DJs. And,
okay, I'm looking at it now.
There's a guy out, and he comes outside, and he got a great big queue to go into the Ibiza nightclub, and there's two girls covered in like zits and all that sort of thing, like beautiful girls, but they're covered in zits, so they're ugly. So the guy comes out, pulls out this mirror, he goes, "You girls offend my mirror." Ooh. Right, basically sending them on their way.
Right.
Because there's a certain class of girls we like in here, and that's these beautiful ladies. You girls offend my mirror. Ooh. Do you know what I mean? It was meant for a joke.
Yeah.
But I think that comes to what you were saying as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I said, just getting you into the door. Like I said, interviews, anywhere where you're trying to get access. Into schools, like I said, we're just as a human being, like, again, all these people, or you got 3 or 4 candidates and they're all qualified or whatnot, which one you're going to go with?
Yeah.
Unless you have some quota or criteria that you're going for, you're going to go for the one that generally, like I said, you like and or you're the most attracted to. I've known guys, you can sell, in certain areas, you can sell your personality. Sell your intelligence, your skill set, your knowledge, your experience, all those things. And if that's above everybody else, then more times than not, you're going to get the job. But then, like I said, if you're talking about amongst equals, your looks are going to matter. Mm-hmm. And that's in everything. I'm not talking about just your, what you were born with, but again, how much time do you put into your physical appearance? Shaving, grooming, your fragrance, your dress, your shoes. In some areas, they want to see that at least at the very least, because it may not in your day-to-day job. Because every job I've gone on, most people are casual. I wouldn't even say business casual.
Yeah.
Most people that I've worked with in my IT career are casually dressed. Jeans most of the time, maybe a sweater or Burton shirt or something, sneakers. Or some moccasins or something like that or whatever. But again, casual. For years, I was like the best dressed guy in the office because I just like putting stuff together. I like having nice shoes on and the look, and made sure my belt color matched my shoes. And, that was just something that I just put a lot of, emphasis into, wanting to look my best in what I did. But even on the interview, even if the job itself is, people are going to be coming in and you're going to be dressed mostly casual.
Yeah.
I would still want somebody to come in well dressed just to say that you care, that you give a heck about the job.
Yeah.
How bad do you want it? And then once you're in, then we can, we can take down the formalities and whatnot. But I
In my
want a process. A person who does not show up well dressed for a job, that's a strike for me. Even if the dress code doesn't require it on a regular basis, that's a negative for me. I'm looking for people who are looking to do a little bit more than everybody else. Show me something. Show me why I should pick you over somebody else. And so, yeah, appearance I'm paying attention to. If a man comes to an interview wearing white socks with a dark suit, that's a strike for me. It's like, because nowadays you can't say, I don't know, there's hundreds of YouTube channels of all these clothing gurus and dress haberdashers online who will give you clothing advice. And if you can't spend 10 minutes to watch an interview on what to wear to a job interview, then I got no.
Okay, two things to that, Paul.
Yeah.
One, some people that I know, like, they have the greatest wardrobe, but they suck of matching their clothes, like what to pick to wear, with what.
Sure.
So that's a good possibility. Second thing, there are cases, like even my case for me personally, and people that I have interviewed myself, is saying to me, "Hey, chef, my issue is I love to come for an interview tomorrow, but I have to come in my chef uniform because I got to head straight to work afterward. I'm coming from work or one or the other. I'm not going to, kind of knock them down on that, and that's fine. If you have to, you're coming from work, okay, cool. Or you're going to work, that's fine. If you're in uniform, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to knock you if you come in a little dirty because, again, this line of work you get dirty with all the time in the field.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the question I'm going to ask you, that's where it really matters. If I ask you, how do you make a chicken soup, and you don't know, that's where red flag come into me.
I got you. Like I said, skills pay the bills. I'm not saying that skills aren't important or should not be the most important. But as I said earlier, I mean, all these things being equal, a person who comes in your profession, maybe you don't necessarily need to wear a suit on an interview. But if a guy comes in, all the skill sets are there, just like everybody else. But out of all the candidates, this person, he comes in with some slacks, a button shirt, and some shoes. Some nice, good-looking pair of shoes. Like I said, he put some effort into it. He didn't just come in like he was just coming out off the street. And again, he can do everything. So you got these two candidates. Who are you choosing? And I'm saying the one who's going to put that extra in, it tells me right away. This person cares about wanting to make an impression. This person cares about, upping the game.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that matters. Yes, I'm going to disqualify you if you don't know what you're doing. So to your point, yeah, I'm going to ask you, how do you make certain dishes, whatever. You can't answer, you're gone. But if I got to decide, because how many people are you going to interview? 5, 10, 12 people? I mean, depending on what it is, who's going to stand out?
Yeah. So the rule of thumb I always say to people when you come to any, at least cooking interview, all right, is dress shoes or at least nice pair of sneakers, jeans, a button down, or a polo. Keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because obviously some people wear things on their wrist, keep it simple too. A watch is fine. To me, it shows you, okay, you're on time. You can pay attention to time.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to wear like a little bracelet on the arm, that's fine. If you wear earrings, make sure you wear a nice pair of earrings if you do wear earrings.
What about a nose ring?
For men or for women?
Women. Well, yeah, men. Let's say that. Men. All the criteria is there, but he's got a nose ring or one of those eyebrow.
Nose ring here?
No, the one that hangs down.
Oh, hell, fuck no.
Or he's got the what's the one in the eyebrow, the eyebrow ring or something like that.
Yeah.
But everything else is there. He's dressed. He's got the slacks. He's got the shoes. He's got all that stuff, and he's talented and everything. But he's got some piercings or some things that might not be outside the norm.
I'm going to tell him right now, I'm starting an interview, like, it's not appropriate for work. You have to remove them during work hours.
Okay, but would you hire again? But you got to make a choice. You interviewed 5 people that day, and he was one of them. He could do the job, but so can these other people. Who are you picking?
that is the difficult part. I have to see who has the most skill at that point.
Like I said, obviously the scenario is hard.
Here's the thing: you forget about cooking. You have to do a test straight too.
Sure, and I'm saying you could do all of that. I'm saying you
I have to
hired
go
people
use
obviously who could be equally compatible. Sometimes it comes down to a gut. I just like this person better, right?
Sometimes not even the gut is the food, because if that person has the piercings and everything, and you taste his food, is incredible, and the person who's like to the nine, he has all the right paperwork and everything, and his food sucks.
Like I said, skill's going to pay the bills. I get that. We're not saying at the expense of the skill set. I'm saying
Oh, no, I understand
people
what you're saying.
on par with the skill set, but it comes down to a looks thing. Who you picking?
So this is a factor now. Are you front of the house or back of the house? Front of the house, I need you to look to your teeth at all times, because you're in front of the customers. You're cooking them.
Right.
Back in the house, I won't give a shit how you look, as long as you can push out food. That's what comes down for end of the day. If you're in front of the house, I need you to be very presentable at all times. You have to dress appropriately. You have to dress accordingly. You have to be spoken correctly, because you're in front of customers. People will come up to you like, "Oh, can I get X, Y, Z?" Yeah, sure. What's up? Yeah, I got you, my man. Boom, 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 boom. At first, you don't want to be like, as blunt than I am, because I know that my customers. I can be blunt with them, most of them. But if it's somebody who's not, like you, let's say it's your first day, I tell people be yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Very simple. Till you get to know them. Once you get to know them, you can open up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you have to be very presentable up front. Your uniform has to be clean at all times. I want clean aprons, clean hats, gloves, everything. Like, unfortunately, it sucks. So you only get like 1 or 2 aprons, and you have 2 aprons. The cooking apron that we take care of in the back. That, we have a company who cleans it, and what I call fancy aprons. The fancy aprons, you're responsible to wash them. I remember. I'm not going to say names, but the person who was it was filthy from top to bottom. I looked at him, "Do you have another apron?" He goes, "No." I go change your apron, go a black one, but next time you need to bring it back up. If you're going to be this messy when you clean your grill, you need to have a backup. Simple.
True that. Now, do you think that what gets you further? Because I want to bring it back to this sort of versus example for the show.
Yeah, of course.
Since you're in the restaurant, right? You're the customer. What gets you better service? The way you look or your personality?
Are you serving or are you receiving? My question is.
No, you're receiving. You're the you it's again a scenario. I'm the customer coming in.
Okay.
How I look. Does that get me better service? Or how my personality, how I treat you, the server.
Personality.
Hello, thank you for a restaurant or whatever. Thank you very much, and just pleasant.
All right, let's play a little game for a second, bro. You're my server, right? You just come up to me, okay? You're like, "What's the first thing you're gonna
I
say?"
wouldn't
to
know
me?
that question, but Peter would, because he works in a restaurant. So
That's what I'm. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of sticking with.
I'm gonna play the customer. You play the server for a second. I'm gonna play. This is actual.
Hang on, you're the customer.
Yes. Okay. You come up to my table. What's the first thing you're gonna say, Paul?
I'm gonna say hello. Welcome to Pete. Welcome to Pete's. My name is Paul. I'll be your server today. Can I start you guys out with an appetizer or drink? May I start you guys out with a drink? Again, if you guys, but hang on. So I'm the server, right? I'm the server. Depending how you, because I know I've been treated this way. My wife and I have been treated this way. Remember when I was telling you that when we go, one of my peas as of late is when you're going out to dinner and you go into a decent restaurant, not a diner, not Denny's or whatever, but you go into a place you had to make a reservation for, a nice Italian restaurant or whatever. I told you that my wife and I, we like to kind of dress up a little bit. This is a date night for us. So I like to wear shoes. I like to look good. I like to wear a jacket. I like to, and she likes to wear, her dress or something sexy or whatever. I mean, we're dating. This is, we're attractive. And I've seen that we oftentimes get treated very well just based on when we show up that says, hey, that's an attractive couple. That's a decent couple. I treat those guys well. Either A, they're going to give me a really good tip or they're going to recommend this place to other people. But then you got people who show up in the restaurant and they're wearing sneakers and jeans and hoodies and they're wearing their baseball caps backwards at the table. They're not presenting well. But again, this is supposed to be a fine dining establishment, or at least a somewhat,
So I have a
a
question.
little bit upscale.
Is it a dress code? That matters.
Not a hard one. Like I know there's restaurants where it's like dinner jackets a must for men, no jeans or whatever, and I know there's some, but like I said, some restaurants I went to, the one place we did go to, I actually looked it up because I'd never been there before. The first thing I looked up was what is the dress code. They said like spiffy casual, slacks, jeans, no offensive t-shirts and stuff, it wasn't like that. But when we got there, unfortunately, you had people there who were dressed like that.
So
And I guess my thing was, it's like, look, this is you go to a place, you're with your lady or whatever, you want to be in an environment with some classy people. And not everybody was classy there.
I'll tell you this.
Um,
They did a training seminar a while back, and the training seminar said we don't want need to judge our customers by their appearance. Like, don't judge a book by a cover,
Mhm.
because and they had simulations. There's one person who looked bummed down. He thought he had not even 2 pennies in his name. He thought he was going to be like a dash and dine kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He actually had more money than everybody in that restaurant.
I'm sure.
So you cannot go off appearance sometimes. Appearance can go both ways, unfortunately. Now back
No question. Yeah.
yeah, back to hospitality services. When I'm interviewing for a server, I'm looking for bubble personality, meaning, hey, Paul, well, or hey, my name is Peter. Welcome to Spartan's restaurant. How can I get, how's your night going? And by the way, can I get a drink for you? Start you guys out with, by the way, I love your tie. That is an awesome tie, ma'am. Your office is on point today. I gotta give you a compliment on that. That is a bubble cup personality. That was what we were looking for at first.
Right. But everything you just said, or that person just said, was based on how my wife and I came in and looked, and she paid attention to it. Everything you just said was based on how we looked, how my wife looked, how I looked. So we basically gave you a layup to be nice to us because of the way we presented ourselves when we came into your establishment. If I came in with just with a T-shirt with the Confederate flag on it, or a Trump jersey or something, or some whatever, or just not appropriate. She can't say any of those things. Hey, I really like your T-shirt. Or she wouldn't be as motivated to do so. But the fact that we came in looking the way we looked, again, it's a layup. So that's what I'm saying. When you dress a certain way, when you go into certain places, when you look a certain way. If you're a handsome lady, I'm sorry, handsome lady, handsome guy, handsome guy, pretty lady. Even the bartender, you did bartending. Mm-hmm. The pretty girls, don't they get treated better?
I can answer that question.
Go for it.
Well, you guys know that I used to live in a pub, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Pardon?
I did.
I didn't know that. But
you did. But yeah, when I used to live in a pub, I used to work behind the bar and that sort of thing. Except I drink a lot. But anyway, when any of the males used to work behind the pub was always dead. But when they found out certain staff were like the female staff and they're quite beautiful, there would be a lot of customers coming in. There'd be more customers coming in. My mum got so jealous of these women because they got all the attention that my mum didn't. But so she actually fired the bloody women. I was like, Mum, we're getting
She
customers.
fired
You're firing them.
Chelsea.
You're making us lose customers because of you're uglier than they are. What the hell? Do you know what I mean?
He's right about that. I worked for a guy, a place called Ammonia Cafe in Astoria, Queens, right? For Broadway. The owner will only hire attractive women. He rarely hired male, but women, because he felt the women will bring more customers in. And that's facts. There's been proven studies of that.
Right.
Like even bartenders, the most attractive bartenders will get the bigger tips.
Right.
Because the guys, always trying to pick them up. It doesn't always work. Obviously.
Right. Again, that makes sense. I'm saying the other way around.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But
I'm saying, but it works both ways, is what I'm saying. If you're the bartender and you see some hot ladies who come in, you're gonna your whole countenance may change. You might be a flirty and be like, "Hey, ladies,"
Okay, I'll give you another example.
That kind of thing.
I know of somebody, and when she's out with her friend, all right, everybody turns their head when they see her. She's a head turner. She's an attractive woman. Can't deny that.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's trying to buy her drinks. She gets that, extra attention, all this stuff, and she doesn't realize that she's a happy married woman, of course, and she's out with her friends, having a few drinks, having a good time.
Right.
But I keep telling her, listen, people are throwing themselves out. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm married, and and that's respectful. But that goes to your statement right now. If you're attracted, are you going to get more special service? Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, and so again, I will put that again as another check in since we're talking about looks versus personality. I will put that in the looks department.
Correct.
Now again, I've known some guys or some girls. They can go in. You can own the room. Like I said, if you can make people laugh, especially when it comes to like parties and whatnot, there's certain people who will be invited to parties and gatherings because that they're gonna light they're gonna light the place up. They know how to mingle. They know how to make people laugh. They know how to tell stories that just get people just laughing their butts off. And just automatically, those people are just drawn to you. Like you can even see in the party, it's like a house party, and you got people on different floors and stuff like that. And the guy who's like the life of the party because he's got surrounded by all these people as he's sharing stories. So again, very personable that way, and again attracts certain people. Now some women or people that might be attracted to that, physically or sexually attracted to that because of not only their ability to be funny, but again, their ability to pull people in. I think there's something about people who are able to pull crowds. Because especially you look at most of these comedians, right? How many times have you seen an attractive looking comedian? A lot of comedians aren't.
Never.
In fact, that's one of the reasons why they became comedians, right? Because they kind of play off of the fact that, hey, I wasn't a football star, basketball star back in high school. I wasn't good with the girls. I was the class clown. Why? Because that's how I got likes. Because I wasn't the handsome guy. I was the nice guy. I was the funny guy. I was the jester. And that's how I was able to get in with certain and get invites or into certain crowds or whatever, because I knew my skill set, but it wasn't going to be because of my looks. So some people can work that, but to me, that's like a skill. I think that your looks is kind of something you're born with. Yes, you can work out, you can build your body up, you can do certain things, but as far as face, your face is your face. But you can, depending on your hair, you can style your hair a certain way. You can style your beard a certain way. You can do a lot of different things. Change your clothes there's a lot of ways you can sort of artificially improve or enhance your appearance. But, personality wise, though, that is something I think those people are kind of like, I think that's rarer when you have people who have that kind of personality that can draw or attract people to them. I think that's just a very different skill set. It's very difficult to be funny. Intentionally anyway. Like, most the good comedians, they're just funny, it's just how they see the world is different. It's almost like we talked a couple of shows ago about the different types of intelligence. It's almost like another type of intelligence that they're able to make irony and humor out of their childhoods, out of their circumstances or situations, and make it funny. Most people can't do that. But everybody can dress better. Everybody can go join a gym and get better. Everybody can, do certain things to be better. Now, you get all kinds of, some people take surgeries too far, but the BBLs and all that kind of stuff and implants and stuff, but there's certain things you can do to enhance your appearance. But being charismatic, which is really, at the end of the day, what we're talking about, charisma is, I think that's a rarer talent. Now, if you're able to combine looks with charisma, then it's like the world is yours. You can, if you get skills with charisma, you can, you can do a lot of things in the world with that type of skill set. Mm-hmm. Brains and beauty, yeah, you can go for a brawn and brains, yeah. You're gonna be in a lot of rooms. Exactly, the ability to read the room, yeah. You're going to be in a lot of situations that most people can't get into if you can combine those sort of things. So again, I think it just helps you navigate the world when you look a certain way or you present yourself a certain way. If you work in sales, yeah, looks is mad important. And like I said, I come from the old school. Again, one of the reasons why I was clean service for so long, because again, I was taught that in sales. Now again, I get it. Today, different landscape, but you're talking about the 90s. Clean shaven. Don't trust a man with a mustache. We were taught that. But clean shaven, looking good, dressing well, wearing a business suit, dark suit, red tie, white shirt, polished shoes. No, you were instructed in those things back then, and I think still, like I said, all these channels with all these style mavens and grooming guys talk about how to dress, not only how to dress for business, but how to dress casual. Like, you got a lot of guys. I wore a tracksuit today because I had to take my wife out. She had to get some things done. So I wore a tracksuit that I could already see some of the style maids and say, look, you're 56 years old. Why are you wearing a tracksuit? I just like tracksuits because, again, it's comfortable. I can move around. I'm comfortable in them. Track shoes. I got the matching sneakers and whatnot. I'm good. But some of these guys will say, you should dress your age. 50-year-old man, he should wear jeans and maybe a sweater and some moccasin shoes and things of that nature, whatever. But certainly there's people out there who believe that, again, dressing also appropriately for your age. Like a 50-year-old shouldn't necessarily be dressing like a 20-year-old or vice versa. So that some people will make that case that, again, all part of that attractiveness that makes you more successful in the world.
So that's a factor too. No nail polish for you, Mr. Paul.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, a clear, because you did have some guys who were like, it's okay for a guy to go get a pedicure. Like, your nails should be trimmed and they should be neat. And so a lot of times, once you go and get the pedicure, they may put that clear coat on there to protect the nail or whatever. But that doesn't, but no pink fingernails or anything like that. No, at least in most cases, no. That's not what, that's not the intent. But certainly, having those kind of having those kind of things, no way color attracts people. Yeah. So what's it? Power dressing does get doors open. Yeah, for sure. But again, certain rooms, certain clubs, certain environments, even if you're at the golf course or you're in the social clubs, for some people there is a dress code. And the thing about it is a lot of those dress codes aren't written, but a lot of times it's observed. And so one of the things that I do, the last few jobs I've been on, the first thing I always try to do is I looked at how the management dressed, how the CEO dressed. And I always thought, I just kept that in my mind because I was thinking, okay, well, at least I need to dress at least at that level or above. I was just taught that. Always at the level that you're at, read the room, assess it, and then dress at that level or above. So I've always had that, that kind of mindset that I wasn't going to be underdressed for any occasion. But I do think there is appropriate. I think there's dress for every occasion. I think there is there is certainly an opportunity to wear a tracksuit. There's an opportunity to wear slacks and moccasins or a nice vest or polo or something like that. There's all kinds of codes. I think there's something to wear to church. I think there's an appropriate. I don't believe necessarily you have to wear quote unquote church clothes per se. Like I don't think you need to wear a suit to church every Sunday or whatever. But again, a nice shirt, a nice button shirt, slacks, good shoes or whatever. I mean, I'm not saying go to church in a tracksuit necessarily, but some churches, I get it. They're like, look, come as you are, doesn't matter or whatever. Just don't wear something indecent. But I do think there's just certain areas where I should be able to go into a place and not attract too much negative attention to myself because of how I'm presented. Body odor, same thing. And that can go the other way. Too much cologne. I mean, like I said, I shouldn't see you. You shouldn't pass by me and I'm smelling you. You're 20 feet away from me. I'm still smelling you.
You should not leave a trail. I always say
absolutely.
If you remember when I used to do the grooming stuff on the channel.
Yeah.
Most people don't know the trick. They start spraying.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the wrong way. The best way to do it is simple. If you want the 360 effect, is both sides of the neck, a little squirt up behind your neck, and your wrist. That's it.
Yep.
You walk away.
Yep.
When you're spraying on your clothes, it just stains your clothes. To be honest with you, because it is alcohol in it. It stains it. So yeah, I do agree with that part. Is you don't want to leave a trail when you're walking through, and also you have to realize when you're wearing a cologne, what kind of cologne for what event are you wearing?
Exactly. Yeah.
It is I call work cologne. It's medium to strong. I call it, meaning like a Kevin Klein Eternity. That is a good one to go with, or blue. Like a Gucci black or Gucci gilt. That is a night cologne.
Yeah.
Or
So what was your? I know you had some killer fragrances back in the day. So what was your going to the club?
I have a shitload of collections though.
So
I like people who don't know what to buy me. And like they always say, "Hey, your birthday's coming out, or Christmas, or some kind of event." Like, oh, I don't know what to get you. And I don't ask me because I'm not gonna ask for anything because that's not who I am. And their go-to is cologne, always for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, but no question. I mean, so I think you need both. To look good. I mean, and that's why even now it's like you talk about business. You're talking about like your LinkedIn, having a good photo. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can have a LinkedIn. You don't necessarily need a LinkedIn picture, but people want to see stuff. So having a nice, it doesn't, maybe not a professional. I mean, especially with the phones, with the technology now, you can take some pretty nice profile shots on your phone, But again, dress a certain way, have a certain hairstyle, like the way you pose, not always head on, but that kind of side shot or whatever, that profile shot. I mean, people want to see sort of attractive people. If you're going on a dating site,
That was one of my questions. If your looks matter on a dating site, and yes,
100%. Yeah, I mean, I would say then it's like 90-10 at that point.
Quick question. Do you have to do it if you're going to go on a date or whatever? Would you have to do it like you treat an interview? Your
In a way,
looks,
yes.
how you dress, how you behave.
I think a lot of it may depend on where you're going, what the
Yeah.
date is. If you talk about a picnic in the park or something active or a beach or something like that, then yeah, you're not going to dress up like an interview. But again, if you're going to a nice and again, if you're going to like a coffee shop or something like that, I would say even then, like say you're going for coffee,
Yeah.
I would say I don't mind. Certainly jeans, I don't mind, but I'd rather wear shoes. Like if I'm meeting, want to make an impression. Because I think jeans, the nice thing I like about jeans is that it's a rugged look, but you can also dress it up based on the shoes or boots that you wear. So again, I wouldn't wear sneakers ever on a certainly not on a first date.
Sorry. Can I ask what? I know what shoes are, but I've heard a lot about sneakers. What the hell are sneakers? I only wear them on your feet. That's it.
Well, like what the athletes wear, like what the tennis players wear, the basketball players wear.
so-
I mean, athletic shoes.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So, what do you call them in UK? What do you call them?
Plimsolls.
Okay. Okay.
Basically, they're rubber on the bottom. They're very bendy, but they're
Yeah,
elastic
yeah.
around so they can stay on your feet instead of thinking. But you can stay comfortable but fit at the same time.
Yeah, for
Move
sure.
around a lot more. You
Yeah.
call them sneakers.
Yeah. Dusty. Yeah, casual, smart dress for
Trainers.
coffee. Yeah. Like I said, jeans. You can always dress it up with that. Especially you wear a sports coat. Again, depending on the time of year. You can do a sports coat with a nice button shirt, jeans, nice shoes. That works in a lot of different areas. Even in a dining situation, that works. But I wouldn't wear sneakers. I wouldn't wear just a T-shirt with like this. Like here, I got Star Wars 1977. I wouldn't wear that on a first date. Even if she was into Star Wars. I'll find that out when we're talking. Or let's say, hey, you want to have a binge Star Wars night, or if the next Star Wars movie comes out, hey, you want to go see it or whatever. Then we can do our merch and bring our lightsabers and stuff like that. That's fine. But on an initial, I'm looking to make a good impression.
Okay.
I may wear glasses. Like I don't need my glasses all the time. The glass I'm wearing now, this is for screens and monitors because it takes the blue light out, so I don't need it. And I don't necessarily need to wear glasses all the time, but I do wear glasses. It depends. Sometimes, depending on the look, I may wear glasses to make me look smarter or more depending on the situation.
Yeah.
I may want to do that. So yeah, I definitely believe in dating. I think you dress to impress. I think you do. I think a woman, you should dress to impress. Now again, there's the coffee date, there's the tea date, there's the formal dinner date, there's the evening out to a play or a show date, there's the movie date. There's all kinds of scenarios that you can do, but I think you do want to present yourself in a way that makes you your most attractive in that setting. Now the thing is, it's also easier when it's a lifestyle, because what you don't necessarily want is, okay, you got them into you, whatever, and then down the line they stop dressing for you, because that's never who they were. They were just trying to impress you. Like I said, for me, I've been with this for 30-something years. Like, this is just something that I do. Yes, I don't mind wearing the T-shirt and stuff like that, depending on where I am, but I know where to dress it up where need be. But if I was going on a date, I forget what I wore for my first date with my wife. I forget. I swear, I remember what she wore, though. She had these nice jeans. She had these nice burgundy jeans on. She had this nice white blouse with a top or whatever, very nice. you know.
Yeah.
And I forget, I don't know what I was wearing, I forget, but it was definitely spiffy. It wasn't, just sneakers, and which everybody seems to be wearing, which I can't stand. I mean, they wear sneakers with everything. They wear sneakers with tuxedos. They wear sneakers with everything. I just like, again, a nice pair of shoes, polished. They don't have to be patent leather, but I'm just saying, a nice shoe or boot. It's like, that completes the whole look. But just to throw on some Nike Airs, I can't stand it.
I always believe, and I'll bring in next to Nathan. Hang on a second, all right? I always believe every man needs at least one or two good pair of shoes. Like, maybe I'm a little going on a high end here. Again, these were gifts, so that's why they're like, I don't know if you want to accept this as a rule. I have a pair of Gucci's in my were the best shoes I ever have, because they're the most comfortable shoes ever. I feel like I'm not wearing anything, but it's just like, my point is trying to get to. I have a nice pair of shoes. I have a nice pair of sneakers, and I got beat up sneakers. I got nice boots. I also have beat up boots. So it depends on the scenario. What it is, like everyday shoes, I go to work. I just wear my beaters. And like, I'm going to work. I'm gonna once I get to my go to work, I'm gonna change my shoes into my work shoes.
Yeah.
I don't want those shoes in here. So let's get this guy in here. And a baby in his arm too. So it's impressive.
I had to calm her down. She got a little freaked out by the storm and everything else. So the minute I just changed her, and the minute I held her, she just quieted up, and now she don't want to leave my side, as you can see.
I heard that. That's
right,
good.
man.
So I know you've been listening, and I know you've been commenting in the chat. So anything you want to say on this idea of looks versus personality, either in the dating aspect, in the career professional aspect, in the social aspect, in the dining aspect. So how do you kind of land on these? I think I'm still putting looks still more so at the forefront, or if this is a race, I still got looks ahead, not just how you look just physically, what you're born with, but how you dress and present yourself.
Right.
But where do you land on the on that breakdown? And again, especially in those different areas and arenas that I talked about, because I think the rules work a little bit differently in those areas.
It does. The first aspect you were talking about when it came to dating, personality definitely goes a long way, because I'll be honest, when I was younger, like especially in high school and in college, I didn't have the look. I was skinny. I had the glasses, so on and so forth. I was maybe $155 when I graduated high school, and I added 10 pounds after my first year in college. So I really didn't have the look. So I had to learn to have personality, and it did help in some aspects, especially when it came to talking to ladies. But I did get friend zoned a lot because of it, and because I wasn't that type of guy they were attracted to, and ironically, some of the ladies thought I was gay. And that's why they didn't give me the time of the day as well. I didn't really start learning to put everything together until I joined the Army, and then that's when I really started to get in. I put on a little more weight, but everything started to come out. Like my shoulders came out. I was starting to be in better shape. I got the 6-pack, the arms, legs, everything started to come together. And then all of a sudden, then ladies started looking at me. Then they found out I was in the service. Oh, all of a sudden, the skirt got up a little bit higher, so on and so forth. They wanted to talk to me, things like that. So it was, I had to have personality first. And then once the looks came, I didn't try to just use the looks. I still try to work on personality as well. So I built it on that. Now, occupation-wise and everything else, looks is important. How to look presentable, how to look in the uniform. Now, it was never a problem for me. I went to Catholic school all my life. So 12 years of Catholic school, I was always in a uniform or dress code. always. So, throwing on a shirt and a tie, pants, shoes, a blazer, that was never a big deal to me. No problem at all whatsoever. And it helped me when I did job interviews. I always, if I didn't have a jacket, I had a shirt, tie, button up, pants, shoes. Even if it was even if it was at the job, even if it was at my job or for a position within my job, I still wore that for an interview. Problems whatsoever. And I used my personality as well and my knowledge and my job functions, and that's what definitely helped. And at the same time, I mean, that's basically what it is. Like some people are late bloomers, and I was a late bloomer.
Same here.
I learned, like, once the looks came, I didn't let the looks go to my head. And because I had the looks, I used my personality, and I think that's what attracted some women to me even more, is because I didn't have looks. I had looks and personality.
Let me ask you this. How did because I think between both of these, I think there's also a feedback loop. I think that if you improve your looks, it has an effect on your personality and vice versa. So did you experience some of that? Like you said, you got the you already had personality already, but you got the 6-pack, you gained 10 pounds and you started to put things together. Did that then feed back in terms of your presence, when you went into a room, how people interacted with you? Did it change in a positive way your personality or, your ability to hold and your confidence?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It
So talk about that.
It definitely helped. I think the confidence part definitely came when I joined the Army. That, I think, where it came from. Once I joined the Army and I learned to develop that confidence, everything else just started carrying on its own. And I think that was the one thing that I really didn't have that type of confidence when I was younger. But I think once I went to the Army, when I first joined the Army, I learned to have that confidence. And some people may see it as arrogance or cockiness, but I didn't try to make myself the loud person in the room. I can just come into the room and say, "Hi, how you doing?" and not feel uncomfortable in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
And because I was in private school, and Paul, you probably know this, I was that one person or one of the handful of people that looked like us in that room.
Yep.
And I learned not to get phased in any way, shape, or form. That was something that I learned. Like I said, 12 years of Catholic school. My parents helped me with that as well. My older sister, my cousins, they all went through that type of experience in some way, shape, or form. And they all taught me like how not to let anyone see you scared. Because the minute you felt uncomfortable, the minute you felt a little bit of sense of fear and they saw it, you felt like chum in a tank full of sharks.
Yeah.
So I had to learn to have that type of personality to come into that room. And I didn't command the room, but it helped me develop the personality where my wife says, I can go into an empty room and make a friend. That's the type of personality I learned to develop. I learned to be comfortable in who I am. Hi, how you doing? Shake hands, very good grip, eye contact at all times, and I just learned to put it all together over time. And the things that in some areas I learned, reading GQ, reading other magazines at that time that helped dudes with things like this. And I'll be honest, for a period of time, I dated older women. So they also explaining certain.
Look at you going after the Cougars.
Hey, I learned a lot. I learned a lot from dating older women.
Hey,
I'll be honest.
What's the one thing you can get from older women? What's the multiple things you can get from them?
Knowledge.
Security, love, loyalty, and experience.
And I learned a lot of knowledge from
What kind of experience you're talking about, buddy?
You dirty bugger.
These both of these fuckers know. I'm known for all going after the Cougars.
But
Peter, only you would know that.
You've reached your limit on talking. Shut the fuck up.
But
I love you though, brother, but fucking hell. Sorry.
You've reached your limit on talking. Shut the fuck up.
but
You're going for 3?
Hi. Nigga.
You've reached your limit on talking. Shut
I
the
would like
fuck
to put
up.
2 fingers up, but there's a child on the screen, so I
You've
can't.
reached your limit on talking.
Oh yeah, child kid,
Fuck
man.
up.
yeah, be
I forgot all about you were talking. I forgot all about that. Yeah, but hope you guys she sleep.
But
Greg? I'm going to choke slam you through this camera.
but I
Go
did,
ahead, Don. Before this knucklehead takes over the show.
but learning all that and putting it all together, it definitely helped.
Gotcha. Now let me ask you something, if you don't mind. Well, go ahead. Ask yours. I'll come back to him.
And I was going to just go follow up a statement. Like, one of the women I dated, she's older, and she always like, go for the shoes, go for the right dress, with this and that. It was like, seriously, I didn't realize how important it was back then. I was so young, but
Yeah.
when she was older, she had the knowledge to say this makes a difference.
Mm-hmm. Compliment them on everything. Learn
Yeah.
to be a listener.
Yeah.
Learn to have great conversation. Know how to carry a conversation. Talk about a plethora of things. Learn to just have an understanding of a multitude of topics, of subjects. Even if it's something that you're not into or something you know nothing about, read up on it. And sometimes it does help as well. And a lot of those things that I learned from dating older women, I took that and I applied when I dated with younger women. When I started dating women in my age group, and it definitely did help. Oh yes, that is true, because some of them did help me and how to put things together as well. On top of that, so I think sometimes if you've never had a chance to learn those type of things, and you've been in a type of a situation where you've dated older women, they're going to take the time to teach you those things, because if they see something about you, especially in your personality, and they feel like, you know what, I'm going to mentor him. I'm going to, and it paid off. Seriously, it paid off.
So let me ask you this then. When you met your wife, if she was to say, what was she most well, first of all, what attracted you to her most, and what do you think attracted her to you? I mean, what do you think when she met you first time? What do you think was the difference? Do you think it was your personality, the way you looked, or how do you think that makes that makes sense?
Both a combination of personality and looks. She caught my attention. I caught her attention first. She was really cool. Yeah, I wasn't really like thinking about dating at that time, but for some reason she was attracted to me. I guess maybe it was how I carried myself. Maybe she liked how I smiled, how I stood, things like that. 2 things, and then when we started talking, 2 things she asked me to see whether or not she was willing to say, okay, let me give this man a shot. She asked me if I was a registered voter and if I had a library card. I told her, yeah. I told her I've been a registered voter since July 22nd, 1994. That was the day I turned 18.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually showed her my library card. And when she saw those 2, and then when she saw the library card, then things went from there.
Wow. So she had an idea that obviously, she wanted someone who was engaged, certainly in the world around, understanding, what's going on, being engaged in the voting process, a reader, someone, who had more than just brawn, but, substance, intellect, or that sort of thing. But how did she look at you physically? Did she say, "Oh, it's like, man, that man looks good," or "Oh, he's cute"? My wife said, so because I asked her, it's like, why'd you go out with me and whatever? What'd you think of me first time you saw me? Now, mind you, at that time, I'm 6'3". I was maybe 158 pounds at that time. When I graduated college, I was 147 at 6'3". So I was skinnier than you. So I know what it is to be the skinny, nerdy, eyeglass wearing guy. And she just said, "Oh yeah, I thought you were cute." Just kind of like in passing. She didn't say, "Oh, I just thought you were just so dreamy." I didn't get any of that, stuff. But
thought she was annoying at first, right?
What's that?
You thought she was annoying at first.
No, I thought she wasn't annoying. She was very flippant. Like when I met her the first time, it was with her office mate, and her office mate has a very gregarious personality. So you want to talk about personality? She might be a bit over the top. I mean, she's like really gregarious and extroverted and things of that nature. So it's like, hey, come on over and meet, So she introduces me to my wife, and my wife just says like, hello, like very nonchalant, flippant, just dismissive, kind of like whatever. I'm like, man, it's like, it's like, what's up? But just very, I don't think she even looked at me. You know what I mean? It wasn't, but there was no sparks. There was no eye contact. So for us, it wasn't about attraction, and she didn't meet my criteria. I had criteria. I wanted someone about 5'2" to 5'4". I wanted a short woman. My wife is 5'11". So, and her friend who was in the office, she's 6'2". She played ball for North Carolina. She knows Michael Jordan. She played on the North Carolina women's team back in the 80s.
Okay.
So, and she played some ball internationally as well in Europe and stuff. So, but she's definitely Carolina blue all the way down. You know what I'm saying? So she's 6'2". My wife's 5'11", and in heels they're even taller. So I remember the first time I saw them, they would always go to lunch together.
Okay.
And it was like two giraffes, like walking down the hallway in the AT&T building and whatnot. So it must have been, so it was like, like way over, and really, but it wasn't so much. Look at me, I thought she was, I tried to, but again, tall. I was like, I just wasn't thinking.
Okay.
But her friend insisted that I took her out. So this is like after several weeks we're going to lunch together and everything. And I go over to say hi because they sat together. So I went over there one time to say hi, whatever. Say how you doing? And the first thing she said, it's like, when you taking Dottie out? This is my wife. She's like, when you taking her out? And I was like, huh? And she was like, you need to take this girl out. And so I don't know what it was. It was purely platonic. I wasn't feeling her like that. But then, but we started talking. So I can say that our relationship started off with the personality and with the character, because I was very clear on what I wanted. I had the document that I wrote about what I wanted in a wife. I shared it with her, and I was very marriage minded. And so that is what kind of got her interested. It was like, oh, this guy wants to be what? Okay, now I want to know more. And we talked for about 2 to 3 weeks before we went out on a date. And so, but that's when things started to come together. That's when I started to notice, it's weird, her body, like it was always there, but I wasn't peeping her like that.
Right.
But then it was like, man, she's got a nice body.
Yeah.
So, then the physical stuff started to pop once we clicked. Relationally, intellectually and spiritually that way. Then all these other aspects start to drive out. But it wasn't like when I saw her, it was like, oh my gosh, she's just so gorgeous or whatever. I wasn't in that realm. I wasn't even thinking about that. And like I said, she told me, it's like, yeah, I thought you were cute, but no more than that. And clearly I didn't have the body. I've definitely gotten bigger and more muscular and more filled out over time as we've been married, for sure. But it wasn't a physical attraction that was the driver that came it to us. It was a situation, scenario, and I'll be forever indebted to her friend, her office mate, for insisting or threatening. It felt more like a threat than anything that I take her out. And then, but once we got to know each other and whatnot, then the attraction, the feelings, and the and all the other kind of stuff came in. Yeah, it's weird, but
You're right.
as you may say it's weird, honestly, I just think that you just got to play numbers. I still, and a lot of people say I'm just an old Gen X guy. I still think the rules are the same. The only thing that changes, you may have more access and options through the social media places and the dating apps and whatnot. You still got to do the work. You still got to talk. You still got to probe. You still got to and take your shots.
Oh, definitely.
I think the thing that's weird now is that people don't want to take their shots.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, back in the day, me and Anton, it's tall, skinny, nerdy guys like us, we get rejected 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah. You learn to build resilience because
Exactly. And so if you're not willing to do that, then yeah, you're gonna be you know
40
just look at the whole scene as being, as you said, it's kind of weird now. And then people are so, like, again, you watch these pop the balloon shows or whatever.
Oh God.
People getting popped for, I mean, just the dumbest reasons.
Definitely.
The dumbest reasons guys are getting popped or girls getting popped because, just something about, I didn't like his shoes, or he looks, I saw one this morning and the guy was like, oh, he looks a little bookish to me, like the kind of guy who likes to read books. And I'm kind of like, yeah, when I go on vacation, I like to turn up. I like to do whatever. He looks like the type of person he wants to be on the beach. And
My thing is with these women who will go on these game dating shows, they're the fakest women out there you can find.
Oh,
Like you say, you. I'm sorry, Anton.
definitely, because they're saying one thing and then they're doing the complete opposite. And I'm like, wait a minute. You said you wanted this, and this. Now here it is in front of you. But because he doesn't look like a Shamar Moore or, Tyrese or whomever, then all of a sudden, oh, there's something wrong. Like,
yeah,
some people, like you have some that have these most unrealistic expectations.
yeah.
And I feel
But
like,
it's not even so much that. It's like, it's just the littlest thing. It's like you're looking for the fault before you, like I said, imagine back in the day, we didn't have cell phones for a minute.
oh, exactly.
It was like, yo, can I get your number?
Uh-huh.
And talk, and we didn't have I didn't own a beeper. You had a beeper back in the day?
Beeper. I had a
I didn't own a beeper.
Pager.
had a
Let's
beeper in
get
high
pager.
Pager. Yeah, I didn't have any of that.
I
So
did.
it was like, literally, I'm like, what's the best time to call you? Or call me after 8 o'clock. I'm getting back from class or studies or whatever. Boom, boom, boom. We on the phone. I mean, on a wired connection phone.
Exactly. And I mean, the thing is, these young people don't have no idea the work you have to put in just to even have an opportunity to take the person out. Like, I told my wife, I ain't looking for a wifey. I want a wife. And she was like,
Yeah, exactly.
like, I want.
I'll give you an example for a second. Paul, you say you talked to your wife 3 weeks before you guys went on your first date?
Yeah, we talked about but two almost 3 weeks. Yeah.
Okay. If you're lucky, you be able to talk to a woman at least a week before she says, so when you taking me out? If that's the case, that's how fast I want to go out. And that could be good or bad, you know what I'm saying? And, it could be good because, okay, you see if you guys click and you don't waste each other's time. But at the same time, it could be bad because, like, let me get to know you first. You need to be.
See, back in the day, we didn't even do that. I mean, there were certain dates. It was like, look, like we may have a phone call, but the idea was to go out. Sometimes you might get a date that night. Like if you meet her, like especially back in college, right? It's how it is. It's like you meet her in the dining hall or in the on Livingston campus or whatever. It's like, look, you want to get together later on at the student center, at the whatever. Like I said, coffee date kind of thing. I mean, it wasn't like, you were.
I'm not arguing that part.
Right.
All I said now is different so much. Like I'm talking about from personal experience too. Like you told me like about pre-COVID and back, I could get a date just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Now, forget it.
I mean, like talking to my nieces and nephews, talking to some of my younger co-workers who were in their like early to mid 30s. They'll be telling me about some of the stuff that goes on. I'd be looking at them like, damn. It's like, yeah. One of the things that I did show my wife that I was like serious of things I wanted to do, I pulled this out. You're gonna be laugh. This is a Xerox copy, but I had a list of goals I wanted to accomplish in my
Yep.
life.
Yep.
Like, there are things I want to do. And
Yep.
I showed her that list, and she was like, "Oh wow, he's serious." And I remember 2 people at my job would tell me, "No, she really likes you." 2 of my friends. One of them happens to be my children's godmother, and the other woman is also a very good friend. Both of them were like, "Yo, she's really into you." Seriously? Yeah, she's really into you. Okay. One night, she was telling me that she had difficulty trying to get home from work. Okay. I came in on my day off to pick her up, drove her home, and we sat in her car in front of her house and just talked till the sun came up. That's all
Yep.
we talk. And I think it was like maybe 6:00. The sun was coming up and everything else. And she got out the car. I drove off and I thought she was pretty cool. She knew, and I didn't find this out till our wedding day. She left a note in an envelope. And when I was getting dressed, getting ready for the ceremony, I saw the envelope and I opened up and read the letter. And she said from that night when we talked till the sun came up, she knew she had found the man she's going to spend the rest of her life with. She automatically knew.
Right. But when did it get, when did the physical attraction hit? Because like I said, with my wife and I, the physical attraction, I don't know if it was there, it wasn't like immediate. Like people talk about these fireworks and stuff. It wasn't fireworks until we got into, like I said, that 3-week period of talking and we started dating, and then things from our first date to marriage was 10 months. I proposed I knew I was going to marry her after this is May. By July, I knew I was going to marry her. October, I proposed. So you're talking about 6 months from first date to proposal, and then everything else was just the marriage and, the wedding that came later. But when did it become not intimate, but I'm just saying like physically, like the emotion? Okay, he's checking the boxes, goal oriented, smart, intelligent, thoughtful guy. But when did it become attraction, physical attraction? Like, was there like a time you can remember when that clicked? Because for us, it didn't click right away.
It didn't click for us. Oh man. Ironically, the funniest time I can say that happened, like things clicked attraction wise, it was on our second date, and that was the time she got arrested.
Whoa, what?
Sorry? Someone got arrested?
You have to shut up.
Okay, can we talk about this now?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh, okay. This is what happened. We were supposed to go to the movies on our second date,
This has to be funny at least.
and we're driving, and I'm driving her car. Her license was suspended, so I'm driving her car.
Mm-hmm.
We're driving, going to the theaters and everything else. We get pulled over because the place we ran for driver had a suspended license. So cops pulled us over. I'm looking, I gave him my license. She had to show him her license. She's like, "Well, that's why he's driving. I know my license is suspended, but that's why he's driving it." So I'm like, "Okay."
Fair enough.
So they run they go run, look through her license and everything else, and they were like, "You need to step out the car." I'm like, "Okay, what happened?" I'm like, "Now,
What is this? Was this Clark? Where was this at?
Nutley."
Bad, just as bad. You don't see too many. I'm saying you don't see too many people like us up in Clark or Nutley. And stay out of Clark for sure.
Oh, I know about that. Trust me.
Yes. Nutley.
And we're going to Clifton Commons to the movie.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so we get pulled over. So the cops are like, "Yo, you gotta step out." Okay, what's going on? So they're like, "Listen, we ran your licenses. You're good, but she got a warrant out for her arrest." I'm still like, "What?"
What the fuck?
Yeah, she got a warrant out for her arrest. So we gotta take her in. And I'm looking at them like, "Why y'all telling me this? Y'all the cops." Both cops looked at me and said, "Bro, you're her girlfriend, you're her boyfriend. You gotta tell her." I'm sitting like, okay, no. I was like, wow, all right. Oh, who got arrested, Braxton? My wife did. That's what happened. So, and no mug shots. No mug shots.
Wow.
So I tell her, all right, good news is I'm good. Bad news is you have a warrant for your arrest. She's like, what? And they gotta put you on the arrest. And she's in shock, like, no, you serious? Like, I didn't make this up.
Dude, if you're fucking with her, that'd be the worst joke in the world.
Exactly. So they came, they had to take her in and everything else. They went through the motions, so on and so forth. So
Did you bail her out?
yeah, bailed her out.
Oh, you're locked in.
So
You're locked in.
so I'm asking the cops, okay, why she's being arrested for? She had a warrant for an unpaid ticket. And I'm saying, like, wait, you arrested her for an unpaid ticket? It came up. She had a warrant for an unpaid ticket. And Paul, you know how it is here in Jersey. They will give you a warrant for the smallest things here.
Even here in PA, bro. I mean, that's in every state now these days. Like, if you're jaywalking, you got a ticket, and you don't pay it, you're getting a warrant.
They want that money.
I think that's a stupid rule or law in your country because we don't have that here.
Hey, that's how it is
You
here.
probably have it, but under a different name.
Yeah. That's what it is. It's like a quality of life thing. That's what it is. So I bailed her out and everything else. And I forgot I don't think we even went to the movies after that.
Mhm.
What movie we were gonna see, but ironically, once that happened and everything else, it kind of went from there.
See, I never had an issue like that. I came close getting arrested once on a date. So
Wow.
you guys remember me telling you about my ex, right? That one, the toxic one.
Which
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, that one I was
I can
engaged for
imagine
3.5
being
years.
that
So
Right.
Yes, okay.
we had a few drinks. Not we were not toxic. I'm like maybe 1 or 2 beers tops. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was getting a little frisky, if you could get my hint.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she goes, I know a spot. I'm like, I bet. She drives me somewhere. I didn't know. It was like no cars around. Like, okay, got in the back seat. I'm getting some action. That's all I cared about at that moment. As I'm bucking her bed, I see a car come behind. I'm like, fuck, that is the cops. I got a knock on my window. I open the car. I go, and he goes, what the hell are you guys doing here? I'm like, nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm like, we're just hanging out talking. That's bullshit. So he goes to me, okay, the car's still warm? I'm like, yes, we just parked here. He goes, I'm like, can you step out? I'm like, yeah, sure. He walks me back. He goes, can I search your car? I'm like, yeah, go for it. I don't have nothing fucking to hide. Yeah, I was trying to be as smart as I go, just watch out for the bazooka behind the front seat. He's looking at me. He goes like, you're not funny. So he literally searches my car, comes back and goes, searches me, goes through my wallet and everything. How much money you got in there? And go like 20, 40 bucks. I have no idea. I wasn't even counting. I had cash on me because I was drinking. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He goes, how much you had to drink? I go, 1 or 2 beers. Around that area. I don't remember, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had a few drinks. Like, are you okay taking a breathalyzer? I'm like, yeah, sure. He goes, blow, 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 blow. I'm like, dude, I can't fucking blow anymore. All right. So after that is done, he goes, here's what you guys were doing. Like, dude, I'm trying to get some pussy. You just cock blocked the shit out of me.
Oh, I've got to send this.
He's looking at me and goes, at least you're fucking honest. All right, here's your license. Here's your keys. Just get out of here. I don't want to see you. Like, and he goes, and I drove away. I'm like, my heart was pounding. Like, I'm bump, 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 bump. I'm like, I thought I was getting arrested for me. Like, I asked him, like, I was walking away, like, why did you guys, why? This is Gameland. Like, this, you're not supposed to be here on Sunset. I'm like, motherfucker. I'm thinking to myself.
I know what that means.
Yeah, I've been in a similar situation. I got pulled by the old bill. I was a bit pissed, and I've always said 2 jobs a woman is when she's in a car. One's to look pretty, and the other one's for doing something else. I'm not allowed to say on stream. All right, it begins with a B. But we got pulled by the old bill, and it was just about to arrest me for drunk and disorderly and driving intoxicated with a vehicle. Right. Lucky I just met this woman, right? And she pulls the copper aside, and she's flaming pulled him into the bushes and started doing
The bushes.
knocking him off in the bushes. Right? And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And I got off with everything. I just drove back home, pissed out. I'm like, what the hell just happened?
Man.
Well, I don't have crazy stories, but I think you beat me there, Greg.
Yeah.
Hey,
I have some crazy stories, but damn, I think you
Yo,
outranked me just now.
yo.
But Anton, I want to go back to what you were saying earlier in your story. You were saying that I guess it was some friends or co-workers of your wife's,
They were friends of mine, and
and they said she was into you.
yeah, both of them noticed that.
Now, did they ever tell you like what she was giving? I just find this fascinating. Like when a woman is into a guy, that's always been fascinating. Like even with my wife, like I said, she got into me after that first night we were talking. So we talked for 2 weeks. But when I told her, look, I'm celibate and I'm looking to get married, that was it. So wife school, no freaky files on this end here. We kept it clean until marriage. But that was that was it. And that totally changed me, like in terms of how, because any other guy she was dating up to that time, they always went because they were looking to do something and she wasn't giving it up.
Right.
Bottom line, it was like, look, I'm saving for marriage, right? So that is what really clicked, us physically or whatever. So I'm just curious about if, from what like what made you then from nice guy, again, conscientious guy, to that guy? Was it, they said that night you were talking and she wrote the note? That was it?
Yeah, basically that was it. Like,
Wow.
talk. Like I think what it was also was how I carried myself. I was not like a good number of the guys that she's dated. She told me there was something different about me.
Right.
And then when she noticed that, it was like, I think something just said to her, he's the keeper.
Yeah.
Like this is the kind of guy I'm looking for. And when she wrote that note and told me that, I was like, wow. She knew that night into that morning when I dropped her off and we just talked. And we talked about a multitude of things. And when she went inside, in the note said it, she knew I was the one.
Now, how long did you guys date before you guys got married?
We started dating, well, right around that. That's when we started to get, that's when we started dating from that point, especially after the arrest. After the arrest, I think it was more of like, okay, yeah, I'm going to hold on to this guy. So we actually dated for about 4 years.
Wow.
A period, about 4 or 5 years. And there was a period where we actually did break up. She broke up with me. And like within that 1 year gap, like she was talking to someone, I was talking to someone, things didn't work out with her. I was having my new relationship, and then things started to flake and she came back into the picture. And then when the other woman decided to end things, it was like, what just happened here? Like she started ghosting me, and then when she just like ended it just like that, I was like, okay, didn't see that coming. And then after that, it was like we still talked and everything. And she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, I'm just trying to figure out what just happened here. And
When did she break up with you originally?
I think
Hang on, we got to say let's say that because we got an interview with Anton coming up, correct?
Yeah,
We should say that for the deep dive and save some of this for the when we have the one-on-one, as we usually do with the vets and everything. So we'll go over your whole life and background and whatnot, and we'll have a special section for.
Then you know what, Paul? Let's get into our final thoughts then. How's that sound?
Yeah, for sure, we can do that. But what I do find interesting about this last point. So again, I started out by saying that more times than not, it was the attractiveness, the looks that typically, again, get relationships started. that it helps you excel through business and other endeavors and whatnot, and get you the better service and all these things. So looks are important, and presentation is certainly, I believe, important. But it's interesting with me and Anton, it wasn't the looks per se that got us the relationships that we have, the longevity that they have, because again, certainly looks will fade over time, and life happens to everybody. So again, unless your relationship is based on the foundation of friendship and trust and communication and all those things that are put those values and character, it won't last very long. And so, I think certainly for those who would argue that the personality is what makes the difference, certainly I can say for me and Anton, it certainly helped us to not only be people of character, but also find women of character, and allowed us to maintain our relationships over this period of time. So, I think depending on the arena that you're in, I think they're both important. If you can combine the looks and the personality together, I know certainly the journey of strength training, weightlifting, bodybuilding, whatever you want to call it, I know for me, it did a lot as far as changing my overall, not only my look physically, but how I felt about myself. It gave me swag to an extent, which my wife noticed. That, she would say, like, first few years I didn't have swag, but over time, it's like once I got serious into the gym and the weight and the muscle started coming on, she saw the body transformation. She was like, "You got some swag." It manifested in my personality and just how I see things, and my being more direct, because I wouldn't always be direct with people. And so those are definitely things that she noticed as well. So I think that both are, I think, essential if you want something long term. I think looks have their advantages, but again, long term relationships, yes, your personality, your character, that matters. I would say that. But again, without that though, at some point the looks have to come in, because again, you can get friend zoned. And like I said, me and Anton, we both have a lot of experience with the friend zone, which sucked. And I mean, college was awful for me. I dated very little in college because I was the friend to everybody, and I hated it. So until I got, my wife gave me a chance to become a stud. I'll say that. But yeah, but she bought the personality and the character and everything, and then I was able to build the body. The body came later, and that was, so certainly I'm grateful for that. So that's all I got.
All right, Greg, you're muted, bud.
Craig, you're on mute.
Thank you. Sorry. I personally choose personality over over looks, to be honest with you. Get looks. I've already had this discussion with Pete earlier. I personally go with personality over looks. If you get looks, it's a bonus. You're safe with personality. I can't think of any more. Sorry, Pete. I'm done.
Nice and succinct.
All right, thanks this was a very good topic, Peter. I got salute you for coming up with it. I know I came in a little bit later, and I did listen to the show, while taking care of everything behind the scenes. I'm always going to go with personality simply because I feel like it's a precursor to who you are and who you may become. And I took a lot of the things with personality that helped me build me to where I am. A combination of, setbacks and failures I had in college, and certain experiences that helped me out as well. And then once I joined the Army, and thank you, Uncle Sam, for that, it helped build up the looks and everything else. And once it helped me build up the looks, it also helped me give me the confidence to never be afraid or never feel intimidated in any type of situation whatsoever. Once I started putting together both the looks and the personality, and also the help of, dating some older women who also showed me a few things here and there, it was hard not to get caught up. It was basically like it was a can't miss attraction. That's how they felt that what I became. And then I started using that, and I didn't let it go to my head and think I was better. I just still learned how to be myself, and I learned to be more comfortable with myself as well. And once that happened, everything else just happened on its own. So it's never going to happen when you want it to happen. It's always going to happen on its own. And from there, it's just learning how to stay grounded, learning how to stay level headed, learning how to be mature, and learning how to evolve at the same time. And some people aren't willing to change. And sometimes I tell people this: if you're in a situation, where you're tired of being friend zoned, you're tired of being not looked at and ignored, that's what's going to continue to happen. But if you want to be in those situations where you want to win people's, you want to get that type of attention, you want people to look at you, you want you want to be in a situation where a woman looks at you and says, "Oh, he looks cute." And I've had that happen too. You have to be willing to change, and not just physically, sometimes mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and sometimes financially. And if you're willing to put in the time and the work and put it all together, hey, who knows what happens? And that's all I got to say. Some words we're thinking about.
Not bad, guys. Thank you for coming up. Thank you for your input. So let's do a quick schedule update. Let me get my schedule up and running here. Oh, too far. Where are you? All right. So on Friday, we don't have no show tomorrow or on Thursday.
But we should be starting. We're starting to really dial in on getting next gen training back. So if not by next week, definitely the week after that, me and Coach are collaborating. So we're putting together next stream of shows. So we're looking to get back into the swing pretty soon.
So 2 weeks maximum, right?
It's looking that way, yeah.
All right. So we'll be back on Friday with Wrestling Talk with a Spartan. This week we'll be talking about, because WrestleMania is coming around the corner. Me and Anton, we're wrestling fans, so I gotta bring this topic out. WrestleMania's entries better than the match. I want to talk about the best wrestling entries we have so far, ranked from first to last. It's gonna be a hard rank. Which one's the best one, too? And Paul, if you like to join that one, you can more welcome to. So we can talk about from WrestleMania 1 to all the way to WrestleMania 40. Can't speak 42 because obviously 42 is not out yet. But then we're going to be back on Saturday with Operation Hangout, with the best family TV show at all times, or they're not.
Wow, that's going to be real interesting.
Oh, that's going to be I feel like there's going to be an argument easily. And Paul, you want to go over gray area this Friday?
Yeah, so I'll give you the next two gray area shows. So again, we had a little bit of a mix up last week. We talked about interracial marriage, which was a great show. Certainly appreciated the conversation. So I would definitely encourage people to go back and watch that show. I think certainly some very good perspectives there. Next two shows, since tax season, hopefully you guys will file your taxes. You got 2 days left, I think, to get your taxes in. But we're going to talk about nonprofit organizations, the good, the bad, the ugly. And then we're going to talk about the next show after that. We're going to talk about just taxes in general, right? Tax rates, what's a good tax system. Maybe we should go to a flat tax. I know libertarians for years have been advocating for a flat tax. Get rid of all the red tape and loopholes and things like that, or whatever, and have everybody pay their fair share of taxes. So it's going to be a general question on taxes, comparing how other countries, how they tax their citizens and whatnot as well. But they say there's two things in life: is death and taxes. And so we want to talk about that. So that'll be 2 weeks from now. But part of that discussion is going to be nonprofits, and how a lot of times nonprofits, how they're able to exclude themselves from paying taxes and whatnot. But again, is it legit? And should we look at nonprofits a little bit differently? Just given what we see out there with some of the abuses that go on. You got Some of these companies are billion-dollar companies, and their executives get paid tens of millions of dollars a year. And should a nonprofit be able to get away with that? And so we're going to be exploring that next week. So definitely looking forward to that combo.
Yep. And on next Tuesday, we're coming back with love versus loyalty. Which one is truthfully matters?
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting. And I want to put this on everybody's radar too. It's coming up soon. The next Saturday and the Saturday after that. So in the next 3 weeks, we're talking about now. Next Saturday, we're gonna be talking about the Call of Duty franchise. I think we haven't dive into it. So me and Tom, we're gonna dive in, and after that, we're gonna be going mano a mano, Call of Duty versus Battlefield. So me and Anton are definitely going to dive in. I know Paul is going to probably take the back burner. You might want to. I want to probably have you as my referee for that one.
Okay. Okay. I need to get a referee shirt, like a striped shirt.
I'm probably going to order one off Amazon.
Yeah.
So except that, what happened, dude?
White and black T-shirt. Look like he just got.
No, I want like a ref shirt, like polo shirt with the stripes on it or whatnot. I want to look official.
Sorry.
Let me see what I can find on Amazon for you. How's that sound?
All right.
Except that, guys, that's all we are upcoming. Except that, this was the Spartan Execute Network. I am the Spartan. He is Mr. Bennett, aka the President, the UK knucklehead eye down there, and obviously my man Anton. As always, stay fresh, stay safe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.